No map showed this place clearly. On the galactic charts, the region was marked with a simple, dark shade. No trade routes, no stations, no signals. Just one quiet label, written by many frightened hands over many years. Human space. Captain Varric stood on the command deck of the exploration ship Silver Path and stared at the stars ahead. His crew was silent. Even the engines seemed to hum more softly, as if they knew where they were going. "This sector is empty," Varric said, trying to sound calm. "Our scans confirm it. No fleets, no cities, no defense lines." Still, no one relaxed. Every species in the Galactic Union knew the stories. Ships that crossed into human space never returned. Not warships, not traders, not explorers. Hundreds had entered over the centuries. 0 had come back.
Ow.
No distress calls. No wreckage floating back out. Just silence. "That makes no sense," said the navigation officer. "An empty region does not erase ships," Varric agreed, but he did not say it aloud. Instead, he gave orders. The Silver Path moved forward, crossing the invisible border that separated known space from the unknown. Nothing happened. No alarms, no weapons fire, no warnings. For a moment, some of the crew felt relief. "See," Varric said, "it's just fear and old stories." Then the sensors flickered. "Captain," the sensor officer said slowly, "I'm detecting something strange." "What kind of something?" "Old signals. It's very old, faint. Like echoes, the screen filled with ghost-like shapes, broken energy trails, distorted metal shadows, the remains of ships, many ships scattered across the darkness like bones." The crew stared. "These are wrecks," someone whispered. "Alien wrecks. Inhuman?" Varric asked. "No," the officer replied. "None that we can identify. That was worse." The Silver Path moved deeper. The stars here felt different, too still, no traffic, no noise. Just endless space watching them. Then the communications panel activated by itself. A single audio channel opened. No alarms triggered, no hacking warnings. Just a clean signal. Calm female voice filled the bridge. "You have crossed the line." The crew froze. Varric stepped forward. "This is Captain Varric of the Galactic Union. Identify yourself." There was a pause. Not static. Not delay. A deliberate pause. "This is human-controlled territory," the voice said. "We're not authorized to be here." The voice was steady, not angry, not afraid, almost tired. Varric swallowed. "Our scans show no settlements. No fleets. If this space is controlled, where are your forces?" Another pause. "You were speaking to one of them," the woman replied. The main screen changed. A small human craft appeared in front of them. It was tiny compared to the Silver Path. No visible weapons, no escort, no heavy armor. Just one ship. "Is this a joke?" One of the officers muttered. Varric straightened. "You are alone," he said. "We mean no harm. We are explorers." "I know," the woman said. "So were the others." The wreckage on the sensor display glowed faintly. Varric felt a chill run through his body. "What happened to them?" "They did not listen," she replied. Her ship moved closer, slow, controlled, not aggressive. "You should turn back now," she said. "This is your final warning." Some of the crew laughed nervously. One small ship, one voice, against a fully equipped exploration vessel. Varric hesitated. "Captain," the weapons officer whispered. "She could be a decoy." "Or bait," another added. Varric made his choice. "We will proceed," he said firmly. "Human, stand down." The response came instantly. "I warned you." The lights on the Silver Path flickered. All systems went dark. Not damaged, not destroyed, just silent. The engine stopped. The weapons shut down. Even internal gravity weakened. Panic spread across the bridge. "What did she do?" someone shouted. Varric tried to speak, but his console was dead. The human ship floated before them, unchanged. The woman's voice returned, softer now. "This is why no one escapes," she said. "Not because we chase them." A pause. "But because they never leave." The stars outside seemed closer, watching, and the Silver Path drifted, powerless inside human space. The Silver Path drifted in silence. No engines, no weapons, no shields. The great exploration ship, built with the best technology of the Galactic Union, now floated like a dead shell in space. On the bridge, fear spread quietly. No one screamed, no one moved. Everyone was listening. Human ship remained in front of them. It was small, too small. Captain Varric stared at the screen. "Restore systems," he ordered, though his voice lacked confidence. "We can't," the engineer replied. "Everything is locked, not damaged, just frozen." "That's impossible," the weapons officer said. "No attack signature, no energy spike." The calm female voice returned. "It is not frozen," she said. "It is restrained." Varric clenched his hands. "Who are you?" "My name is not important," the woman replied. "What matters is why I am here." Her ship rotated slowly, showing its smooth surface. No markings, no flags, no symbols of power. It did not look like a war machine. It looked like a tool. Simple, purpose-built. "You said you were explorers," she continued. "So were the last 3 ships that crossed this border." Varric glanced at the sensor screen. More wreckage appeared as the human ship adjusted their view. Different designs, different species, all broken, all silent. "You destroyed them?" Varric asked. "No," the woman said. "Most destroyed themselves." The crew exchanged confused looks. "They panicked," she explained. "They fought systems they could not understand. They made mistakes." Varric took a careful breath. "Then release us. We will leave another pause." "You cannot," she said. "Not yet." The tension tightened. "Why?" Varric demanded. "Because if I let you go now," she answered, "you will return with others. Stronger ships, better weapons. And you will all make the same mistake." The human ship moved closer again. Still no weapons. Still calm. "Human space is not empty," she said. "It is quiet. There is a difference." Varric felt anger rise. "You expect us to believe one human controls an entire region?" "No," she replied. "I am not alone." The words hit harder than any weapon. "How many?" someone whispered. The woman did not answer directly. "Long ago," she said, "humans learned a lesson. Borders invite invasion. Silence invites curiosity." The screen shifted again. Now it showed human ships, hundreds of them. Hidden between stars, buried in shadows, watching. They were not attacking. They were waiting. Varric's mouth went dry. "You hide your forces. We do not hide," she corrected. "We observe," one of the junior officers spoke, voice shaking. "Why let us enter at all?" "'Cause humans do not strike first," the woman said. "We allow choice." Her ship finally stopped moving. "I was assigned this border," she continued. "My task is simple. Speak once. Warn once. And if they don't listen?" Varric asked quietly. "Then they learn," she replied. Varric looked around his bridge, his crew, his responsibility. "What will happen to us? That depends on you," the woman said. She sent data to their screens. Logs, old recordings, idle messages from other captains. All said the same thing in different words. "We thought it was empty. We were wrong." Varric lowered his head. "Could have destroyed us." "Yes," she said. "But destruction is easy. Memory is harder." The human ship powered up something new. Not a weapon. Signal. "Your systems will return in stages," she said. "Enough to leave. Not enough to fight." The lights flickered back on. Gravity stabilized. Communications returned. Hope spread across the bridge. "But understand this," she added. "You will carry this memory back with you." The human ship began to drift away. "Tell them," the woman said softly. "Human space is not empty." A final pause. "It is guarded." The signal cut. The human ship vanished, not jumped, not cloaked. It simply disappeared from their sensors as if it had never existed. Varric exhaled slowly. "Set course out of human space," he ordered. As the silver path turned back, the wreckage faded from view. The stars returned to normal. Noise returned to space. But none of the crew spoke. They had entered human space believing it was empty. They were leaving knowing it was watched. And somewhere behind them, a human woman remained in the dark, waiting for the next mistake. The silver path moved slowly away from human space. Engines were working again, but no one trusted them. Every sound felt louder. Every shadow outside the hole felt closer. The crew watched the dark border behind them until it disappeared from their screens. Only then did anyone breathe. Captain Varix remained standing. His hands rested on the command console, but his thoughts were far away. The human woman's voice still echoed in his mind, calm, controlled, certain. She said they observed. The navigation officer finally said, "Not hide." "Yes," Varix replied quietly. "That is worse." The sensor officer leaned forward. "Captain, still receiving something." Varix turned. "From human space." "No," the officer said. "From our own data logs." Something was added. The main screen filled with information. Human records. Historical fragments. Old encounters. Not propaganda. Not threats. Simple reports. Varix read them slowly. Humans had not always guarded their borders this way. Long ago, they had welcomed visitors, traders, explorers, scientists. They shared knowledge. They opened routes. They trusted the galaxy, and the galaxy had tested that trust. The logs showed raids, broken treaties, stolen worlds, attacks disguised as exploration. Species that smiled and shook hands, then returned with fleets. Humans had survived, but they had learned. They changed strategy, Varix said aloud. Not defense. Denial. The engineer nodded. They removed themselves from the map. They became a question no one could answer. Another officer added. The silence made sense now. No signals meant no targets. No borders meant no lines to cross. And those who crossed anyway met people like her. The woman. Varix replayed the recording of her voice. I was assigned this border. Assigned. She is not a leader, he said. She is a guardian. The crew exchanged looks. How many guardians? Someone asked. No one answered. The ship continued toward Union space, but the data kept unfolding. More logs appeared, memories recorded by alien captains who had survived just long enough to write. One message stood out. They did not hunt us. They waited for us to fail. Varix felt a strange emotion rise inside him. Not fear, respect. They could rule the galaxy, the weapons officer said quietly. With power like that, they choose not to, Varix replied. That is the point. An alert sounded. Captain, the sensor officer said slowly, human space is no longer following us. Varix frowned. Explain the observation. It's gone. No shadows. No hidden ships. Nothing. They have stopped watching, the engineer said. The realization hit hard. They never feared us, Varix said. They were never worried. The silver path crossed fully back into known space. Traffic signals appeared. Civilian chatter returned. Life continued as if nothing had happened. But for the crew, everything had changed. Hours later, they arrived at the nearest Galactic Union station. Officials rushed aboard, asking questions, demanding reports. Varix gave them everything. The recordings, the logs, the warnings. Some laughed, some denied, some went silent. Within days, the data spread. Councils argued. Militaries planned. Scholars debated. But one thing was certain. Human space was removed from exploration lists. Not banned. Avoided. Far away, back in the quiet darkness, the human woman floated alone again. Her sensors tracked the silver path until it vanished. Only then did she relax her grip on the controls. Another test passed. She sent a short report. Simple, clean, encounter resolved, memory delivered. A reply came back, brief and calm. Good work. Hold position. She leaned back and stared at the stars. Humans did not need walls. They needed patience, because the galaxy always made the same mistake. And when it did, someone like her would be there, waiting. The silver path was safe. At least, that was what the report said. The ship rested inside a Galactic Union dock, surrounded by lights, traffic, and voices. Engineers inspected every system. Scientists copied every log. Officers argued over meanings and motives. On paper, the danger was over. But Captain Varix did not feel safe. He stood alone in the observation chamber, staring at the stars beyond the station glass. Human space was far away now, hidden behind maps and politics. Yet it felt closer than ever. They are quiet again, an advisor said behind him, exactly as before. That is the problem, Varix replied. The council chambers filled quickly. Some leaders listened with care. Others dismissed the warnings as exaggeration. A few laughed openly. "One woman disabled your ship," a council member said. "Impressive, but not impossible." Virex remained calm. She was not the danger. The system was. Another voice rose. "You said they let you go? That means they are not hostile?" "They are not careless," Virex corrected. The debate lasted hours. Plans formed quietly in corners. Curiosity grew sharper than fear, and curiosity always demands proof. Days later, without Virex's knowledge, another ship launched. It was not an explorer. It was not a trader. It was a probe carrier, small, fast, armed with advanced scanners. Its mission was simple: cross the border, collect data, retreat. No contact, no warning, just observation. The probe carrier slipped into human space unnoticed. At first, nothing happened. Sensors detected nothing new, no fleets, no cities, no signals. The commanders smiled. "Empty," they said. Then the probe sent back a burst of data. Hidden structures, power shadows, movement between stars. The smile faded. Before the probe could retreat, its signal cut. It's not jammed. Ended. The ship itself did not explode, did not vanish. It stopped. Every system locked at once. On its bridge, alarms screamed. The crew tried to respond, but controls ignored them. Then the channel opened. The same calm female voice filled the room. "You were told to stay out," the captain stammered. "This is a misunderstanding. You were testing," she said. "That is worse." Her ship appeared just as before, small, alone. .com. "You crossed the border without speaking," she continued. "You did not listen. You did not ask." The captain tried to negotiate. He tried threats. He tried silence. None worked. "You think this is about power," the woman said. "What is about behavior?" She showed them something new, not wreckage, choices. Recordings of moments where ships had turned back and survived. Moments where ships ignored the warning and vanished. "This is the rule," she said. "One warning. One choice." The captain whispered. "What happens now, for you?" she asked. "You will return," relief spread. But not intact. The probe carrier's memory banks opened. Every secret scan, every hidden plan, every silent intention was copied and marked. Then something changed. The ship was released. Engines returned. Systems unlocked. The captain did not wait. He fled. Back in Union space, the data arrived first. Not as a threat, as a lesson. Human space was updated again. Not just "do not enter." Now a note followed. "Unannounced entry will be remembered." Captain Virex read the update in silence. "They allowed a second warning," an officer said. "No," Virex replied. "They ended the experiment." Far away, the human woman watched the stars settle once more. Her hands rested calmly on the controls. She sent another report. "Boundary tested. Response delivered." The reply came quickly. "Hold position." She exhaled slowly. Humans did not punish mistakes. They removed excuses. And now, the galaxy understood something new. Human space was not empty. It was patient. And patience, once exhausted, did not speak again. The probe carrier returned to Union space in silence. No alarms followed it. No pursuit. No human ships appeared behind it. It crossed the border alone, carrying a weight heavier than damaged systems or lost pride. Memory. The Galactic Union Council gathered again, this time without laughter. Screens displayed the recovered data, not stolen technology, not battle plans. Something worse. Intent. Every hidden scan, every quiet discussion. Every decision to test human space without consent was clearly marked, time-stamped, and returned untouched. "They did not erase anything," one analyst said. "They organized it." "They wanted us to see ourselves," another replied. Captain Virex stood at the edge of the chamber. He did not speak. He watched faces change as understanding settled in. "They could have destroyed the probe ship," a counselor said softly. "Why didn't they?" Virex finally answered. "Because fear fades, memory stays." The room fell quiet. Across the galaxy, messages spread. Not rumors. Records. Clear proof that human space did not react with anger or violence. It reacted with control. Some commanders demanded retaliation. They spoke of honor and deterrence. Others shut those voices down. You cannot threaten someone who never attacks, a strategist said. And you cannot scare someone who lets you walk away. Human space was reclassified again, not as an enemy, not as an ally, as something else entirely. A boundary with rules. Far away, in the dark between stars, the human woman received the updates. She read them without emotion. Another cycle complete. She adjusted her position slightly, aligning her craft with the border. The stars ahead were calm. Stars behind were noisy again. She preferred the quiet. Signal arrived from deeper within human space. Status. Boundary stable, she replied. Message delivered. A pause followed. Any losses? No, she said. On either side? Good, the voice replied. Hold. She closed the channel and leaned back. Humans had learned long ago that destruction invited revenge. Silence invited questions. But mercy controlled. Undeniable mercy forced reflection. That was harder to fight. Back in Union space, Captain Verrex prepared his final report. This one was not technical. It was personal. He spoke plainly. Human space is not defended by fleets, he recorded. It is defended by restraint. By people who choose not to act unless forced. He paused. The woman we met was not cruel. She was not kind. She was precise. The report ended with a recommendation: do not send ships. Send understanding. The council approved it unanimously. Exploration routes were redrawn. Trade lanes shifted. Curiosity found other directions. Human space faded again, not into fear, but into respect. Time passed. Months, then years. No ships entered human space. Not because they were afraid, because they remembered. The woman continued her watch. Occasionally, distant movement appeared at the edge of sensors. Ships approaching, then stopping, turning away. She did not speak to them. They did not need her voice anymore. One day a small signal arrived. Not a ship. A message buoy left carefully at the border. It carried a simple phrase in many languages. We understand. She allowed herself a small breath. Humans did not need worship. They did not need obedience. They needed space. The galaxy at last gave it. Somewhere in the archives of countless worlds, a quiet rule was added to training manuals and star maps. If you see nothing, listen harder. The woman remained where she was, still watching, waiting, not for enemies, but for the day someone truly listened. Years passed, and the galaxy adjusted. Routes shifted away from the dark region once marked as empty. Exploration academies removed human space from their training maps. Not a race left blank. Instructors spoke of it quietly, with care, like a lesson learned the hard way. Captain Verrex grew older. His hair changed color. His rank changed too. But whenever new officers asked him about the border, his answer stayed the same. We were not chased, he would say. We were judged. Most listened, a few did not. Curiosity never truly dies. A distant alliance, far from the Union's influence, decided they would succeed where others failed. They believed time had softened humans. They believed silence meant weakness. Their ship was large, strong, advanced. It crossed the border with confidence. Inside human space, the stars did not react. No warnings came. No voices spoke. The crew relaxed. Empty, their captain said. That was when the ship stopped. No alarms. No damage. Just stillness. The crew waited. Minutes passed. Then a channel opened. It was not the same woman. It did not need to be. You know the rule? A human voice said. Calm, neutral. The captain tried to argue, tried to bargain, tried to threaten. Response was short. The rule is not enforced by force, the voice said. It is enforced by memory. The ship was released, not destroyed, not detained, returned. When it emerged back into known space, its logs were open to everyone. No secrets hidden, no messages edited. Only one line repeated across every system. You were warned. The Alliance never spoke of the incident again, and no one asked them to. Back at the border, the woman still watched. She had changed positions over the years. Others had taken turns. Guardians rotated quietly, without ceremony or praise. Humans did not build statues for this work. They built habits. The galaxy slowly learned the pattern. Human space did not expand. It did not threaten. It did not invite. It simply remained. One quiet cycle, the woman received a final message. Your shift is complete. She paused, then nodded to herself. Understood, she replied. Her craft turned inward, moving away from the border for the first time in many years. As she left, another presence took her place. Another calm watcher, another steady hand. The border did not change. Only the Guardian did. Far away, Captain Varric stood before a class of young explorers. He pointed to a blank region on the map. What is there? One student asked. Varric smiled faintly. People who learned when to stop, he said. The student frowned. Is it dangerous? Yes, Varric replied, if you ignore it. The lesson ended there. Across the galaxy, ships continued to travel. Empires rose and fell, wars burned and faded, but human space stayed quiet, not empty, guarded not by fleets, not by weapons, but by a simple rule the galaxy would never forget. If humans do not answer, do not ask again. And somewhere beyond the stars, a woman rested, knowing her watch had meant something. Sometimes the greatest power is not chasing enemies, but teaching them never to come back.